We're on Black Lives Matter Plaza just outside the White House, which is still, of course, barricaded off. And there's something of a mood of trepidation, anticipation, but a pretty positive mood after the deflation of last night, and some anger on the streets last night as well, as the needle started to tip towards Donald Trump. Well, it's done a full 180 in the past 24 hours, and now it looks like Joe Biden is the man in the box seat with a pretty good chance at pulling off the magic 270 electoral college votes. He's clawing back the lead significantly from Donald Trump in states of Pennsylvania and Georgia. And people here just soaking it all up, waiting for some sort of announcement to happen. We heard from Joe Biden today. He was perhaps even more confident than he was last night of pulling off a victory. He said that his path was clear to 270 electoral college votes. He didn't quite claim victory, but he came pretty close. Take a listen.
Here, the people rule. Power can't be taken or asserted. It flows from the people, and it's their will that determines who will be the President of the United States, and their will alone. And now, after a long night of counting, it's clear that we're winning enough states to reach 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. I'm not here to declare that we've won, but I am here to report that when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners.
So, David, Donald Trump falsely declared victory in the early hours of the morning our time and has since demanded recounts and launched legal action, as we heard from Casey a moment ago. How's all this going down with his supporters?
Well, Ros, you've got to remember that Donald Trump's supporters voted him in 2016 because they had no faith in the political system. They had no faith in the media. So when Donald Trump says that there is fraud happening, when he says that the count cannot be trusted, they believe him more than the official count. They believe him much more than the media, saying that things are looking good for Joe Biden. So understandably, a lot of them are angry at what they're seeing. And we've seen a few scenes of anger spilling out. One man interrupted a press conference and shouted about fraud. We've seen other protesters in Detroit rushing a counting station there, demanding that the vote be stopped. So we're seeing that around the place. As for those challenges, well, there's now 4 battleground states that are having the vote challenged. In Wisconsin, they're demanding a recount, the Trump camp that is. And then in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, and now in Georgia as well, we're seeing those legal challenges. In Pennsylvania, the president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, is leading the charge. This is what he had to say earlier.
Not a single Republican has been able to look at any one of these mail ballots. They could be from Mars, as far as we're concerned, or they could be from the Democratic National Committee. You have a reputation for dead people voting, and we're going to go look at just how many dead people voted here. I didn't think we'd have to do that, but we will. And you have a reputation for people being bussed in from Camden voting here. Wouldn't be the first time that happened. But this goes way beyond any of that. And let me also add that this isn't happening just here. We have exactly the same lawsuit in Wisconsin. We're going to stick with this. We're going to win this election. We've actually won it. Just a matter of counting the votes fairly.
Any signs, David, of protests against what's happening with the results? Is anxiety growing about that, with the result, of course, still up in the air?
Yeah, we've seen a few protests demanding that the vote continue. So we've had some protesters demanding that it stop, as I mentioned, in Detroit. But in Chicago, you saw crowds out on the streets demanding that every single vote is counted. And we've seen similar scenes elsewhere in the United States today as well. So you've got, at the moment, both sides of this divided nation out and about demanding that one thing or the other happens in regards to the election. Of course, every vote, as Joe Biden says, should be counted, and most of them will, apart from any that succeed. If the president gets up in any of those court challenges, they would, of course, be set aside. But for now, the process of vote counting continues as it does every election.
David, thank you.